Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a good week so far. It's Tuesday. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Hopefully you're all doing well. Just some general announcements. If you have any questions about any of the lessons we go over or any of the announcements, please ask. You can either email me directly or you can leave a comment on Google Classroom. All right. So if you have any questions, please ask. Last week I posted the grade request form, which allows you to request a grade instead of credit or incomplete for your classes. That form, if you choose to do it, if you choose to fill it out, that form is due June 19th. All right. I also posted that, but just in case you missed it, I just want to make sure you do that. All right, or you know that. Today we're going to talk about the last of the wind patterns that we study in our class. They're called the polar easterlies. All right, so before we do that, let's just review what we learned about last week. We learned about the westerlies, which are wind patterns that occur between 30 degrees and 60 degrees north and south. All right, so these wind patterns kind of pick up moisture and then dump it, pick up moisture along the way from 60 to 30. So they kind of go down, pick up the moisture, and then actually go down, pick up the moisture, and then dump it around 30 degrees. Okay, or between these areas, around 60 degrees actually. All right, and 30 degrees is where, because the wind pattern below is sweeping moisture away from 30 degrees. 30 degrees is where you have the deserts. Okay, and so 60 degrees, both north and south, are rainforests. Right, so the wind patterns affect the climate. Okay, so today we're going to learn about the polar easterlies, the last of the wind patterns, the major wind patterns that we learn about. Okay, so these wind patterns occur between 60 degrees and 90 degrees, north and south. Okay, so both hemispheres have the same polar easterlies. Okay, and they originate at the poles and then kind of move in a westerly or western direction. All right, so and that's opposite from what the wind patterns, the westerlies, are doing. Right below them, the westerlies are starting in the west and going towards the east, and the polar easterlies are starting in the east and going to the west. So as you can tell, the winds are named after the direction in which they begin. So the easterlies begin in the east, the westerlies begin in the west. Okay, and then the trade winds are named that because the sailors use them to sail out west. Right? So the polar easterlies, because of the way they move, as you know, the poles are very cold because of differential heating. This area of the Earth, from 60 to 90, receives the least amount of sun because there's a lot of surface area, and the rays of the sun are not concentrated; they're dissipated. So there's less sun, and so it's colder. Okay? And because of that, and because there's not much, it's a dry area. Okay? The winds take moisture from the snow and then kind of dump it around where the 60-degree rainforests are, where the temperate rainforests occur. Okay, so the climate in the polar areas, polar regions, is dry and cold. Okay? Cold because of the differential heating, and dry because the moisture is being carried away by the polar easterlies. Okay, so we have a few questions down here that you should be able to complete because of what we just went over. Polar easterlies are wind patterns that exist between 60 and 90 degrees north and south. These winds start at the poles and blow from, they're named the Easterlies, so they blow from east to west. The climate in these regions, in the polar regions, is usually cold and dry. All right. So if you have any questions about this, please ask. Otherwise, all you have to do is complete the document and submit it for credit. All right. Hope you are having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.